Hello everyone, welcome to the Bio 105 Lab Exercise 3 for the University of New England, sampling using Transects. So, this week we're going to be looking at another system of ecological sampling. The objectives in this lab is to describe the unique characteristics of the coastal forest ecosystem, allow you to recognize and identify prevalent plant members of the forest community, demonstrate the use of a line intercept transect to sample species diversity, to be able to describe how abiotic factors such as water, temperature, wind, light, and soil influence the ecosystem, and use a dichotomous key, once again, to identify plants that inhabit the ecosystem we're studying. So after this lab, you should be able to explain what the relative abundance and diversity index tells us in terms of species diversity and overall health of the ecosystem we're looking at, be able to explain what relative abundance and species diversity can tell us about the effects of an ecological disturbance, and understand how the ecosystems on and near the UNE campus are interconnected. So, a few relevant terms. An ecosystem. It's a biological community of interacting organisms and their physical environment. So, all the species that are interacting with each other and the place that they're living all combine to be an ecosystem. Abiotic factors are conditions in an ecosystem stemming from non-biological causes. These are things like wind, sun exposure, rainfall, soil type, those sort of things. Ecological disturbances are an event that changed local conditions. So, classic one is a clear cut where they cut down all the trees, or a tornado comes through and knocks down a bunch of trees. Right? That's going to disturb what's going on in that ecosystem. The understory is an area under the canopy of a forest. So you think of the canopy as all the leaves over the top of an area where there are trees, and underneath that would be considered the understory. So plants there are generally limited by light availability. And then we have herbaceous plants. These are plants that don't produce a woody trunk or stem, and they have soft green stems. These usually reproduce and grow quickly. What we mean by that is that they're not like a tree where there's a trunk there that stays every year. A lot of these plants die back and then grow again in the spring, or they grow again from seeds the next year. So let's talk about transect sampling. Transect sampling is a linear sample. So you're setting up a line and you're taking samples at regular intervals along that line. It basically takes a cross-section of an ecosystem. So you're looking at how that ecosystem is going to change over that distance you're looking at, right? So it's similar to taking a cross-section here, like of a shark's tail, okay? We're not examining the whole shark, we're just taking a slice out of it and learning about what's going on in that area. Oftentimes they're going to traverse a feature in the ecosystem or traverse an ecological disturbance. So let's talk about an example. So you as a scientist want to know if invasive marsh plants are common near a road. So we've got this is the Scarborough Marsh. If you guys ever head up Route 1, you guys could see this marsh. So it's too large to go in and really count all the plants. So we're going to take and set up multiple transects along the road. So Route 1 is going to be our baseline. We're considering the road our ecological disturbance, right? Because it had to be filled in to be able to be built there. And so we're interested in the number of invasive plants versus native plants, how that varies with the distance from the road. So we go in, we set up 4 different 100-meter transects. So for each of these transects, we're going to draw a line starting at Route 1 out into the marsh. So we're going to sample at 0 meters, 25 meters, 75 meters, and 100. So what we're doing here is we're doing something called an intersect. Basically, we're going to come out a meter, and any plants that are touching that meter stick, we're going to count those. We're going to do that at each of our distances. So here is our transect data. So we went out and counted up our plants. Here's our numbers of plants at each different distance. And then we also calculated the relative abundance of each of those. So when we look a little closer at that relative abundance, we can see that if we look at our invasive species close to the road, they have a rather high relative abundance, right? In some cases being almost 50% or more than 50% of the species represented. Whereas if we look at the plots that are further away, we can see that our invasive species are much less of the overall plants. If we look at our native species, all right, we see that in closer to the road, they have a lower abundance, and then as we get further away from the road, they seem to take over and have a much higher relative abundance. In the Simpsons Diversity Index, we talked about this last week. It calculates the overall diversity of the organisms in a plot, and it's most useful when comparing between different plots. Little n is going to be the number of individuals in a species, and n is going to be the number of individuals overall counted. Large N is going to be the number of species overall counted in the plot. So if we go through and we do our Simpsons Diversity Index, we can see that our overall plots are 0 and 25 meters. Those indexes are pretty much the same, but then when we look at our 75 and 100 meter, those diversity indexes are also the same. So what we've seen with our relative abundance here is that there is a shift in what is there for plants, but there's not a huge overall shift in diversity. So these plots that are further away are still basically as diverse as the plots that are close together, but you definitely in your relative abundance see the shift in the native plants and the invasive plants. So that's kind of why it is important to look at both of those things. So again, we're going to be working out behind the east residence. We're actually going to be meeting out there. So we're going to set up your transects perpendicular to the forest edge, and your instructors are going to show you where that's going to be. You're going to lay down a tape with the 10-meter mark on the forest edge and mark out 0, 5, 15, and 20 meters with flagging. Each lab is going to be responsible for 6 20-meter transects. You're going to count and identify all the plants at each intercept. So each of those distances, you're going to lay down a meter stick, and you're going to only count the plants that are touching that meter stick, and then count the plants that are every 10 centimeters along that meter stick. So here's how it's going to be set up. We've got the edge of the forest. 10 meters is going to be the forest edge. 0 and 5 are going to be in the disturbed area, and 15 and 20 are going to be in the forest or the undisturbed area. Once you come back to the staging area, we're going to be out on that lawn behind east. You're going to share your data with your instructor. They're going to add it to an Excel spreadsheet, and they'll share it with you on Blackboard. You're going to use the class data to calculate the relative abundance, each plant species in the plots, and you're going to use the class data to generate a Simpsons Diversity Index for each of those areas as well. So we're going to be comparing the disturbed area, 0 to 2 meters, to the undisturbed area, 15 to 20 meters, and I will have a tutorial on how to do that as well. Thank you for listening. We'll see you in lab.